Big South football and our weekly football head coaches teleconference to kick off the 2015 campaign. First, a few announcements before we go into our coaches. Format for our calls each week is our coaches will speak for 10 minutes. They'll make an opening statement. While speaking, members of the media may enter *1 on their phone to ask questions, or click the Q&A link near the top of their browser and click raise hand if they join via the web, at which time they will enter the question queue. At the end of each statement, we'll begin with our Q&A sessions with the coaches. We'll ask to identify yourself if you have not already been identified by the question queue, and then we'll continue with the coaches for about 10 minutes each before they're excused for their segment. This call is being audio streamed live on the Big South Network, as well as recorded and available for playback on the conference's website later this afternoon. And since this call is being recorded, we ask that everyone please keep the background noise to a minimum and consider muting your lines to help with good quality, sound quality for everybody else. Before we begin, let's go over the schedule for Week 1. We have 2 games on Thursday evening, North Greenville at Charleston Southern, and new associate member Kennesaw State at East Tennessee State at 7:30. Saturday's schedule has Holy Cross at Monmouth at 1 o'clock, Presbyterian at Miami of Ohio at 3:30, Gardner-Webb at South Alabama at 6 p.m., Coastal Carolina at Furman at 7, and Liberty hosting Delaware State at 7 p.m. as well. With that, we'll turn it over to our first coach, who leads us off every time, the head coach of the Gardner-Webb Running Bulldogs, Coach Carroll McCray. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Mark. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Why don't you go ahead and just open up, talk about how preseason camp went, any notable new starters for us, for you all to share with us, and then we'll talk about South Alabama.
Okay. Well, we're like everybody else. We're certainly filled with excitement and anxiety as well. Finally in game week, really have had a good camp. And it seems like everything has lasted a little bit longer because of playing this week instead of last Saturday. But certainly been good for us with a lot of young players in the lineup that we're going to have to count on, especially offensively, headed into this season. So the extra work has been very valuable, and certainly we're going to be a program on the grow as we go through the season. A lot of our youth and new faces will be seen offensively as far as starting the season and trying to grow these youngsters into Big South Conference play. It looks as if right now, we'll start 2 seniors on offense, a couple of kids that have experience in the Big South, and then after that, it'll be a good mixture of sophomore and freshmen offensively for us. Our quarterback will be a true sophomore in Tyrell Maxwell, a young man that we worked to play in every game last year to get some experience. And he's had a really good fall camp. I think he's progressed and grown each and every week. The big test will be coming this Saturday as we put him out there against really fast defense in South Alabama. Running backs, we've been a little bit beat up. Bobby Clark's an older guy that stayed pretty healthy, and then Kerry Bernard and Khalil Lewis, 2 kids we played last year, 2 true sophomores, will be in our backfield headed into this week. With the loss of Kenny Cook and a couple other older guys at receiver, we're very young at receiver. We're going to start a true sophomore and looks like 2 true freshmen headed into the opener. 2 youngsters out of Charlotte, Victor Harris and Kyle Horton, along with Ralph Jolly here from Shelby, North Carolina, look like they'll start at receiver. At our tight end spot, we're a little more veteran with Mike Estes and Jordan Jones. Mike was an all-conference player in 2013 and now back for his junior year. Up front, offensively, we do have Matt McAlvin and Dylan Hopper coming back as our seniors, and then 3 juniors. So a little experience there. We got hit early in injuries in camp. We lost Madison O'Connor, who started a couple games last year, lost him for the season with a shoulder. And then a backup tackle Saturday night had an emergency appendectomy, so we've lost him 3 to 6 weeks. So A little bit beat up front offensively, and then these guys going to have to hold on, and we got to have a little luck staying healthy there. Defensively, we probably have a little more familiarity with people that have played. Up front, we got looks like two of the Samoan kids, O.J. Mao and Philip Potta, will start for us, along with Jabray Reagan or LaRon Glenn. We have a little depth up front defensively now, which is good to see. At our four linebacker spots, we do have two guys that are returning off year injuries, Tanner Birch and Chad Jeter. Look like they're ready to go, along with Aziz Higgins and Aaron Cook, who had to play quite a few different spots last year. Ivan Toomer's had a good camp. He's our senior corner defensively, along with a couple of sophomores, and Spencer Havard and Angel Guzman will handle the back-end duties there. And then kicking-wise, Paul Schumacher and Andrew Komornick, who led the conference in punting for conference play last year, will both be our kickers. So a pretty mixed bag. A few veterans defensively. We're going to have to lean on our defense and grow our defense. Hopefully we stay healthy there, so that we'll have a little bit of time to grow our young offensive guys and get into a rhythm there. But good camp. Injuries in a couple of spots. Really a running back and offensive line hit us a little. But we've seen progress every day. I think we really came out with a good work attitude yesterday. And then looking forward to today and tomorrow before we head out on Thursday afternoon and head to Alabama.
All right, thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll start taking questions for Gardner-Webb head coach Carroll McCray. To ask a question, please click *1 on your phone, or click the Q&A link on the top of your browser. Click raise hand if you join us via the web. And while we're waiting for some questions, Coach, talk a little bit about South Alabama and what you know of them from what you've seen.
Well, I think going into the opener, there's a lot of unknowns. I know their head coach, Joey Jones, pretty well. He was in Birmingham, Alabama when I was at Samford University, and Joey's done an outstanding job starting that program and growing it through their first bowl berth last year. I know they're listing quite a few youngsters that they lost, but at the same time, they picked up 8 or 9 of the UAB transfers when UAB closed out their program. Highlighting that group of UAB transfers is their quarterback, Cody Clements, a guy that I think he's earned the starting spot here in summer, and I think it's quite a bit of familiarity with him because Joey ended up hiring the offensive coordinator from UAB as well. So an older senior quarterback with a system he's very familiar with. That'll be added in there with a couple of receivers that joined him from UAB, and really what we think is a really good offensive line. They got an outstanding center and Joseph Selfo, junior college tackle that's come in there to play their left tackle, along with a right tackle that we've seen on last year's video we think's really outstanding. So it looks to me like they're going to be pretty potent on offense. Defensively, a couple of transfers in there, one I think from Texas Tech and UAB have earned some starting spots, and then their third leading tackler and their fifth leading tackler is safety are back, along with some younger guys. So they replaced guys defensively and have moved some things around. But, the biggest thing I've noticed with a lot of Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana kids is that, a really fast and athletic football team. They go really fast on offense. They're a fast-paced team. I'm sure they're going to try to wear us down with numbers. That's what they have done, and assuming they'll continue that. But a lot of unknowns going into the game. I think certainly we're going to have to adjust to speed and make sure that we work hard to concentrate early to slow the game down a little bit mentally so that we can get caught up, and then hopefully we can settle down and start making some plays ourselves as we adjust our young kids to the ball game and the speed that South Alabama will throw at us.
Thank you, Coach. We're taking questions for Gardner-Webb head coach Carroll McCray. Again, press *1 on your phone at any time, or click Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you join us via the web. Coach, if you can touch on a little bit about Tanner Birch and Chad Jeter, two all-conference linebackers back this year from injuries, and just how they progressed during camp and what you think how they'll be in week 1.
Well, they give us a lot of stability and comfort coming back with guys that have played a lot. Chad Jeter was able to go through spring practice, not full contact all the time, but we did get him back on the field in spring. So we had a little better idea how he would do, and he's continued to grow and be what we thought he would be coming back. Tanner Birch did not go through spring practice, but was released to, really get going good in the summer. Came back in good shape, and he's moved back into his spot there in the middle as kind of the quarterback on our defense, making sure that we're lined up properly and ready to go. So they both look very comfortable. They've picked back up on our schematics of what we're doing, and hopefully they'll give us a lot of stability in there with leadership and the things that we're going to need from those linebacker spots heading into the season.
And talk a little bit about opening up against an FBS opponent compared to an FCS or Division II. You haven't done that in a while. I think Gardner-Webb the last time was 07, and just I think this would be your first. So, what's that like from a preparation standpoint?
Well, it's been a little bit more difficult in that we don't know as much about South Alabama maybe as we would another team that had a little more consistency in the players. A lot of these transfers come from UAB and coaching staff that had changed, and being a little unfamiliar of where they are has been a little bit different. I think if we would have, last year we played Wake Forest, and we had a similar thing, second or third season, but we had seen them play. So, our focus has been on our football team a little more than, exactly what they'll throw at us schematically. We kind of know how they're going to line up, and we've tried to prepare for that. But a few more unknowns than normal. But, last couple of years we opened up with Furman, and, had some familiarity there, but they had changed staffs, and, players change each and every year. So I think it takes a little bit of time to adjust any time you open up, whether it's FBS or FCS, whatever you're doing there. It takes a little time to adjust your football team. Certainly we'll be busy early in the first quarter, making sure that our guys know where they are and what they're doing to try to get caught up, and then hopefully it'll settle down and things will slow down for us a little, and we can get going and prove to be a good representative of the Big South Conference down in Mobile.
Thanks, Coach. I don't have any other questions for you, so we'll let you go. But appreciate you joining us, and good luck Saturday in the opener.
I appreciate that. Good luck to all the Big South teams as we head out all over the country this week. Y'all have a good week. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Coach.